They say that if you believe it, you can achieve it. Unfortunately, many of us are stuck in the never-ending loop of having limiting beliefs, keeping us from ever achieving or ascending to where we want to go in life. We end up telling ourselves stories about why we can't do something, which is really just shifting blame for not going after it. There's a great quote that I refer to from Orson Scott Card. We question all of our beliefs, except for the ones we really believe in, and those we never think to question. I decided it was the right time for a motivational podcast, really more to help you get out of the nonsense, limiting beliefs you have ingrained inside you, keeping you from reaching your full potential. In this episode, I share a great concept and lessons I had to learn the hard way on how limiting beliefs keep us stuck doing the things we think we should do instead of the things we need to do. I hope you enjoyed the show. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Soft Tissue Revolution podcast, where we teach massage therapists a new treatment system that focuses on working smarter, not harder, allowing them to easily double their income, all while working 50% less. Dr. Matt Maggio here. Thank you so much for stopping by and listening to the podcast. Let's jump right into it. I haven't made a motivation, kick you in the ass podcast in quite some time. Really just been trying to help you navigate all the nonsense and craziness that's going out there with inflation and pricing and people being absurd across the board. And I felt this was a really good time to drop in a mindset motivation. I'm not a huge mindset guy. I'm not a rah-rah guy. I'm more looking internally and figuring out where my shortcomings are and trying to overcome them. Create discipline so I can have freedom, all that jazz. But I thought about limiting beliefs and really just the stories we tell ourselves about why we're not where we want to be. Maybe in our life, maybe in our business, maybe in our relationships, maybe in our health, maybe anywhere. We're all filled with these limiting beliefs, which really are just smokescreens for being scared, being ingrained, afraid to go out there. And I've had these limiting beliefs for a lot of my life, especially in my career. And I still have them every once in a while. And I felt some of them sneaking in a little bit this past week. And I started thinking about all the massage therapists that I've coached and trained over the last, going on 2.5 years. And a lot of patterns I've seen develop with these self-sabotaging limiting beliefs that are keeping you from getting to where you need to be. And I wanted to share them on this episode to help give you some insight and help recognize when they're there and when they're holding you back. Because a lot of times you don't even realize they're there. You don't realize you have that blind spot until somebody can point them out. And I've consistently seen this with myself, with other people I talk to and people that I coach and train. So I wanted to try to help you out the best I can, because that's the goal of this podcast, to help you be the best damn version of yourself and a true, awesome soft tissue practitioner so you can help more people. So we tend to think there are things that we need. I don't know if I said that right. We think we need to do certain things. We think, and I'm saying we because it's all of us. I'm not saying you specifically or calling you out, so don't get offended. What we think we need. We think we need more courses, more trainings, more seminars, more steps to follow, more marketing tips, more hacks, more tricks. We think we need these things. But what we really need is to crush our limiting beliefs, change our mindset, and really narrow our focus on fixing and solving one specific thing. So we tend to focus on what we think we need, more training, more seminars, more shiny objects, more tools, more gimmicks, all sorts of stuff, more treatment, all sorts of stuff. But there's diminishing gains and diminishing returns on that. And what we're really holding us back is we need training in our mindset, how we show up, how we take care of ourselves, how we think about money, how we think about health, how we think about delivering treatment, how we think about our own skill set and where we are. Humans, we are a weird bunch. My favorite book of all time, and I talk about it all the time, and if you want to read it, it's like 800 pages, but I think I've read it like 20 times. Law of Human Nature by Robert Greene. Best book you can read on human nature and mindset and really trying to figure out the complexity in the maze that is us as humans. But we have a lot of biases built in, a lot of ingrained things that hold us back that we don't even realize. And it's really keeping us from reaching our full potential. And it's fucking with us on a whole different level. And as I said before, I've been mentoring and coaching or training or whatever you want to say. And I've been mentored and I've been coached myself for going on, 10 years or so. And I'm always trying to improve myself, improve the people I'm around, improve the relationships I'm around. And I've really narrowed it down to 3 areas where we have really shitty mindset, limiting beliefs around. One is money. Number 2 is our health. And number 3 is our potential to continue to improve. So what I'm going to do in this podcast is break down each one of these and kind of give some subcategories and see if you fit into any of these, if you have any of these limiting beliefs, because the first step is recognizing you have a problem so you can address it, because the belief in what we can do is really holding us back. And so many people miss out on their potential and they just get stuck in mediocrity and they go through life just going through the motions, and that sucks. Without purpose, without drive. I want you to have purpose. I want you to have drive. I want you to be fucking excited about what you do and who you are and the type of person you put out to the world. The world needs better people, less assholes. And it starts with you and your personal take and your personal responsibility to get to that next level. And it starts by changing how you think about things, how you look at things in your mindset. So money, 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 money. Money, as I always say, is very emotional. It's not emotional. It's just an exchange of energy. But so many of us are stuck in this idea of selling our time for money. Here's the honest thing. People that have more time usually have less money. And people that have less time have more money. People value their time, but you've been ingrained in this idea in school and they've taught you that you have to do a 60-minute session. You have to do a 90-minute session. You have to do a 2-hour session. You have to do that. You only get paid based off the time that you spend with people. And that's not the case at all. At the end of the day, if you can do it quicker, you can do it faster, you can do it better, you can do it more effective, you are way more valuable. Sell to the result. Don't sell your time. Work on speed. Work on superiority. And quit selling your time for money because you're stuck. There's only so much that you can do. We all have the same amount of time. And if you can learn to scale and increase your time and save other people time, you are 5, 6, 10, 20, 50 times more valuable. Another one people will tell me is that I don't really care about money. I don't care about money, but you're fucking struggling. I see so many people working second jobs, second careers, trying to make more money because they're struggling with money and they don't care about money. But here's the thing about money. The more attention you give it and the more focus you give it, the more it's going to flow to you. So you do care about money because the type of attention you're putting to it isn't bringing you any money and you're having to struggle. You should have this be your career. This should be your profession. It shouldn't be a part-time gig. You shouldn't be doing this a few days a week and then working somewhere else, because that's not going to be sustainable and you're never going to get to where you need to be. Lastly is just thinking about what people spend money on. You're always like, feel bad if you raise your prices, you charge more, you do something like this. I'm like, bullshit. People spend money on the dumbest shit fucking possible. I talk about this all the time. People spend $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 on a Peloton that they don't even use. So don't have a bad relationship with money. Understand if you're providing tremendous, if you're providing tremendous value, you're helping someone, you're solving their problem, you are so worth it. And if you can do it faster, quicker, more effective, you're way more valuable. So number 1 limiting belief, money. Sorry, I need to get a sip of water there. Number 2, your health. This is a big one. Health. So I don't know about the rest of you, but I did a lot of dumb shit in my early years. I played football in college, didn't take care of myself, really beat my body up. Got to the point where I couldn't work for like a whole, 9 months because I just fucked myself up and ran myself into a hole. And you're all doing that too. You know it. You know your body's falling apart. And you know you can't go on like this forever. But You keep pretending and you keep making a deal with the devil that, okay, eventually I'm going to make this health my priority and I'm going to take care of it. But you don't. And then you wait and then shit really blows up and then you're fucked. You hurt your back, you hurt your shoulder. Now you can't work at all. Now you ain't got no money because you ignored your health for so long. I always say sooner or later, your health will be your number one priority. And your number one priority as a soft tissue specialist, as a body worker, is to take care of yourself because you are the business, you are the livelihood. And if your health ain't good, it doesn't matter what you do because you're fucked. Because if your health isn't good, you're never going to be really successful in business because you're never going to be able to be fully where you need to be. If you're overweight, you don't take care of yourself, you don't exercise, you smoke, you drink, you eat like shit. I've done all that stuff. And that's why I'm saying I'm a hypocrite too. I did all that stuff and I was unhealthy and I was never able to fully dive in and focus on my business and my practice because I was unhealthy. And lastly, in your health, are you a hypocrite? I know I am. We tell our clients, we tell people they need to get treated. They need the benefits of getting treated. They need to be healthier. They need to do that. But we look like shit. We don't take care of ourselves. We barely ever get treatment because we don't have enough time. It goes back to number one of money. You're selling too much of your time for money, so you don't have a lot of time left. So you don't have time for yourself to get that self-care they talk about. It isn't even self-care. Your health is important. It is must needed care. It's you got to do this shit or it's not going to work. And lastly, and this one always hurts for people, you preach health, but you don't look the part. This happened to me. I used to be about 100 pounds heavier than where I was. I was bloated. I was swollen. I was unhealthy. And finally, somebody told me, who was honest, was my mentor. He goes, you know what, Matt? You got to get yourself healthier because people aren't going to take you seriously as a healthcare practitioner if you look the way you do. He was the first person to be honest with me. And you know what? I appreciate that. Yeah, it stung at the time that he said it. But after he said it, got my shit together, got healthy. And it's amazing when you get your health going, how much better you feel, how much clearer your mind is, how much better your business and your practice is. So quit being delusional about your health, get treatment, eat right, take care of yourself. And if you're overweight, do something about it. Don't sit there and be a victim. Don't be like, well, it's okay. No, it's not okay. And that's okay. And I'm allowed to say that. I'm allowed to, I guess, fat shame because I've been really fucking fat myself. And I was really unhealthy and I was miserable. And I kept telling myself I wasn't miserable, but I was. And you know what? Where I am now, I feel a hell of a lot better than I did before because I finally made my health my number one priority. Last one, limiting belief. Hope you're still with me. I'm kind of ranting a little bit, but that's what I like to do in these motivation podcasts. How good you can actually get. Yeah. How good you can actually get. I always say my number one marketing, sales, business advice is get so damn good that they can't ignore you. So here's some limiting things we have on this one. Well, I'm booked up, so I must be good. Yeah, I see this all the time. Oh, I'm not taking on new clients. Oh, practice is fully closed. Great, dancing around. I saw some idiot on Instagram. She was dancing around about how great she was because she's not taking on any new clients and she's awesome. And it's like, I'm like, well, there you go. You're stuck in mediocrity. You're stuck not getting where you need to go. So if you're so fucking good, then train someone else to work under you. Help more people. The number one goal of a business is to help as many people as possible, make as much money as possible, and get you the life and freedom that you need. And if you're booked up, then get somebody else fucking booked up. You're not as good as you can be just because you're booked up. You don't have enough time. Yeah, you're using all those slots up. Imagine if you could do it faster, quicker, more effective. Shit. You can help a hell of a lot more people and make a hell of a lot more money. And that's okay. Remember, because we're changing our limiting beliefs behind money. That money is supposed to come to us because we're providing value. Number 2, I work with athletes, so I must be the best. Hey, I get it. It's awesome to work with athletes. And I worked with a lot of professional athletes over the years, but a lot of us think that just because we work with athletes that we're really good. I'm going to be honest with you. Working with athletes is a hell of a lot easier than working with the general population. The general population is fucking hard. They got a lot of other issues. They got stress. They got metabolic issues. They got all sorts of things. They're not high-tuned athletes. Athletes are way easier to work with. But you know what? I like working with regular-ass people and helping them because if I can help stay-at-home mom who has chronic shoulder pain and gets headaches all the time actually get that pain fixed and she can play with her kids and be there for her children and do that, that's way more valuable for me than fixing some athlete who will give me some credit, but will also be like, well, it's my trainer. It's because I'm fucking awesome. It's because of my diet, my nutrition. Like, they appreciate you, but they'll never really appreciate you. So just because you work with athletes and you have it all over your walls and everything like that, doesn't mean you're the best. It just means that you work with a certain demographic. In all honesty, they're a hell of a lot easier to work with than regular people. I like challenges of regular people. Next one. I went to a weekend workshop and now I'm an expert. Yeah, we see this all the time. Everyone wants to do more and more and more training, add more things. We get shiny object syndrome as practitioners. We think that we need to do more, instead of getting really good at that one thing and doing it over and over again. So if you really find something that truly works and it's working over and over again, continue to go to those seminars, go over and over and over again, become a true expert. And lastly, you're just set in comfort and mediocrity. You're booked up. You got some athletes that come in and see you. You have a close practice. You get comfortable. When you get comfortable, you don't do the little things that got you to that position. The daily practice, the daily repetitions, the reading anatomy, practicing your treatment, practicing your technique. You can always find a way to improve. And I always say the best way to improve, if you're fully booked up and you're capped, is do it better. Do it faster. So those are the limiting beliefs. I wonder which ones you have. You might have all of them: money, your health, and your potential to continue to improve. So action steps. I'm going to give you some action steps to close this up. Watch out for blame biases. I talked about human nature. Go check out that book, Laws of Human Nature by Robert Greene. We tend to blame external circumstances like the government, the weather, other people, instead of looking internally and being like, what am I doing to get myself in this situation? Look internally and take radical responsibility for what you do. Number 2, check your ego. I had the worst ego of ever. I even have a tattoo on my inner arm that says ego is the enemy, just to remind me not to be a jackass and understand that just because you're booked, just because you work with athletes, just because you've taken every seminar possible, you're not as good as you think, and you can always be better. It's a great rap song by Kendrick Lamar. He says basically, bitch, be humble. Be humble and continue to become someone that wants to get better each day. Don't get stuck in your ways. Number 3, narrow your focus. Quit trying to do everything. Quit trying to do kitchen sink treatments. Quit trying to do cupping, stretching, soft tissue work, corrective exercises, lasers, tape, all sorts of shit. Focus on solving one problem and get really fucking good at that and become that person with that reputation of a problem solver, not a service provider. And lastly, most important, take your own health seriously. Take care of yourself. Take care of your body. I apologize if you were offended if I called you overweight or fat. I've been called those names. They hurt, but they should motivate you because your health needs to be your number one priority. That's all I got. Appreciate you guys listening to the show. Crush your limiting beliefs, change your mindset, and you'll be amazed at where you can go. You don't need more trainings, more seminars, more tricks. You need to look internally and have conversations with yourself and be the best version of yourself. So share the show, grab the free training, and if you think you want to come and listen to me teach you for 12 hours over 2 days and become a master at soft tissue treatments, come take one of the courses. We'd be happy to have you here. Appreciate you guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye. Thanks so much for listening. If you want help on the path to being able to double your income, all while working 50% less and being taken seriously as a healthcare provider, I have some great resources for you. Number 1, get access to our free training modules and introduction to my system, the Peak Method. Number 2, subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Soft Tissue Revolution. Links to all of this can be found in the show notes. Lastly, if you like the show, please leave us a 5-star review and share it with others that you know it could help.